So I have a secret to share with you. I can see how people are waiting for that. Last year, I received a rejection from a company to which I'd applied for a senior management role. The email started very beautifully. "You're really great," they said. "You have all the excellent skills, from leadership to mentorship to coaching and even psychological safety. But we were looking for someone who's had experience in leading large teams remotely," the email concluded. I oscillated between feeling hurt and disappointed. I'm a computer scientist. Doing things online is literally in my DNA. I felt frustrated, logged off my email, went and found a movie to watch, slept over it, and the next day I sent out an email and said, "Thank you for your feedback." This experience is an illustration that no matter your expertise, there's always something you still need to learn, especially in this fast-changing world. Unfortunately, many people don't have the opportunities or even the resources to keep reskilling or upskilling. One way that we can nurture all-rounded talent while also hoisting ourselves up to higher standards is by paying it forward. The late Wangari Maathai said that those of us who have the privilege of having the skills, experiences, education, or even power have the responsibility of being role models for the next generation of leadership. I believe that one way that we can be role models for women in science and men in science is by holding up the ladder for others. This can take many forms, including creating platforms and spaces where people can meet to speak, to listen, and provoke their thoughts, like Goelway is doing here tonight. I know this firsthand because I've had the privilege of being part of spaces where my thinking was not only provoked, but I was challenged to structure my work towards impact. And so I know just how important such spaces are. So thank you for showing up here tonight and for opening up your hearts and minds to what is being shared here today. But as we gather here this evening, I want to challenge us that we take this responsibility beyond this space at Luther Plaza today. Today, I'll tell you how my journey of holding up the ladder has influenced my experiences, and drawing from that, I'll share 3 practical ways that we might use to hold up the ladder for others. This is me at the graduation ceremony of my undergraduate degree. Next to me is my mom, who just a few minutes before had gotten up from the crowd to hug me. Just a second, my slides are moving. There you go. Who just a few minutes before had gotten up from the crowd to hug me when it was announced that I'd earned a first-class honors in mathematics and computer science. But 4.5 years before this date, I didn't know that I was going to pursue a degree in mathematics and computer science. You see, I didn't grow up with computers. In fact, my limited interaction to computers was at the cyber cafe, where I was more curious than I was using the computers. In fact, if life had gone differently, I would have become a nutritionist. Because when we received the letters from the University Admissions Board, that is the course that I was selected for. However, While waiting for my university admission letter, just after receiving KCSE results, I was reading the newspaper and I saw an advertisement for a degree in mathematics and computer science. I was drawn to it more for the mathematics because it's a subject I loved, not the computer science, which I had no idea about and had never met a computer scientist. So I asked my parents if I could apply for this new degree. Thankfully, they agreed. So a few months later, at 17 years old, I enrolled for a degree in mathematics and computer science. And that marked the first time I had consistent use of computers. And as that happened, I fell deeply in love with computer programming because of its logical nature, which I borrowed from mathematics. So on this day, as I was standing up to graduate, it was a culmination of safe spaces that had enabled me to be curious and to explore new ideas. And I value that I could do this while basking in inexperience that nurtured the curiosity that led me to the computer scientist I am today. A curiosity that dared me to lead, to explore, and to really find new opportunities. A curiosity that led me to earn a full scholarship to attend the University of Oxford, where I pursued a master's degree in computer science. A curiosity that led me to the University of Cape Town, where I earned a PhD in computer science and graduated in 2015. But I am humbly aware that many women in Kenya do not have such opportunities or even such support, either from their communities and sometimes even their homes. Therefore, intentionally nurturing curiosity by creating safe spaces that allow vulnerability and spur intellectual curiosity is the first way that we can pay it forward. Nurturing curiosity. Over the last 5 years, I've had the privilege and pleasure to found and lead a mentorship program for tech students in Kenya, which started almost by accident when one Saturday morning in September 2016, I met a group of 40 tech students from 4 universities in Kenya who are curious to learn what opportunities they can explore outside the classroom. And this group led to the determination of 5 things that tech students seek to learn when they're not in the classroom, but could lead to their expertise. These are personal development, professional development, innovation and ICT skills, scholarship awareness, and community engagement. These 5 areas formed the foundation of KamiLimu, which is now a non-profit organization that I have the privilege to lead, and it offers out-of-the-classroom mentorship that complements the classroom learning in order to impact students with these skills in these 5 areas. In the course of this work, I have met amazing individuals, and I'd like to introduce you to 3 of them. Meet Barbara. Barbara is a student who graduated from Kenya Methodist University. I met Barbara when I was teaching computer programming. She was the only girl in the class, which is a trend that continued for most of her studies. So Barbara often yearned for a community of fellow women with whom she could learn and navigate the field of tech. Meet Maureen. Maureen was a student at JK UAT where she was pursuing a degree in telecommunications engineering. One of the things that Maureen struggled with was how she could take what she's learning in the classroom and apply it not just in the industry, but also in entrepreneurship. So she was seeking for spaces where she could not only meet fellow engineers, but also learn the applicability of what she's learning in the classroom in the real world. Meet Monica. Monica is a student at the United States International University. She joined first year when she was 25, making her almost 8 years older than most of her classmates. Naturally, she felt a bit out of place, and she often yearned for a space where she could navigate this very new field that she'd started and maybe find her passion in computing. Barbara, Maureen, and Monica represent many students in Kenya and even globally who, while learning technical skills in the classroom, yearn for some answers to questions, discomforts, and sometimes even face isolation. For example, Barbara, Maureen, and Monica represent just 37% of the female students who enroll in STEM subjects in higher learning institutions in Kenya. And they also represent most students who desire skills and guidances that may not be taught within the four walls of the classroom. For example, in 2020, KamiLimu conducted a survey among students in 36 Kenyan universities, and up to 73% of these students indicated that they have not received consistent mentorship outside the classroom. And yet, out of the classroom mentorship can equip students with 21st century skills that they may not necessarily be taught within the curriculum. For instance, in 2019, a survey that was done among almost 20,000 respondents globally indicated that the 3 top non-technical skills most sought after by employers are problem solving, teamwork, and communication skills. To meet this demand, we can design mentorship spaces that not only offer technical skills, but allow students to address socioeconomic problems with innovative solutions that enable them to collaborate through teamwork to create those solutions, and that teach them how to communicate that science through writing and maybe even public speaking. Nurturing curiosity, innovation-centered mentorship. Today, a 10-member committee leads and helps manage KamiLimu, which, like I said, is a non-profit organization that mentors students outside the classroom. Since that Saturday morning in September 2016, we have served 200 students from 22 tertiary institutions. And by last year, we had received applications from students in 50 institutions in Kenya. We do this by collaborating with industry professionals, and to date, we've worked with up to 100 industry professionals and up to 20 organizations. And the best part is we observe a strict 50-50 gender balance for students who identify as male or female. Today, Barbara is a software engineer, and she was able to meet a community of fellow women in tech and immerse herself in local and international communities. Today, Monica is well on her way to becoming a cybersecurity engineer, which is a subject that she actually found as a new thing in the course of exploring the communities that she is in. We couldn't have been able to hold up the ladder for Maureen, Monica, and Barbara without the help of the community that we formed. For example, Meet Titus Titus is one of our mentors on public speaking, and he does an incredible job of teaching our tech students how to communicate their science to all audiences, scientists and non-scientists alike. Or like Udwa Kamimo, who taught us the value of understanding our integrity and living to our true self. And like Martin Mwangi, who makes cybersecurity sound like a walk in the park, and he really makes us understand the complexity of cybersecurity and how that is applied in the real world. So forming multidisciplinary, multi-structured support is the third way that we can pay it forward. Nurturing curiosity, innovation-centered mentorship, multi-structured support. So tonight, as we realize the dream of Goelway, which is creating spaces that provoke our thinking, I encourage us to pay it forward. Pay it forward by providing resources to women in science. Pay it forward by intentionally enabling environments that nurture curiosity. Pay it forward by strengthening competencies with a strong view of innovative solutions. Pay it forward by creating communities that bring on board different expertise, different views, and maybe even the fun in learning. Whoopi Goldberg, an award-winning actress and author, said that she believes one of the reasons we are placed here on Earth is so that we can throw little torches out in the dark. I believe that we can do that by nurturing curiosity, innovation-centered mentorship, and multi-structured support for women and men in science. Nurturing curiosity, innovation-centered mentorship, and multi-structured support. Thank you.